What will you write? Photosynthesis. So यहाँ पे एक brief description of photosynthesis. Now how much to write? How will you understand? कितना लिखना है मुझे? Because the question is quite vague. Explain the process. Photosynthesis, quite a lot you have learned. The first thing is you'll have to write down the chemical equation. Equation लिख के थोड़ा बहुत उसका raw materials लिखना है and then the products लिखना है. That much. Like definition में दोनों include करेंगे. खाली definition enough नहीं होगा. नहीं मतलब वो raw materials like the biochemical process in which the plants make the output with the help of sunlight, water, of the carbon dioxide. हाँ ये एक definition you will write first. एक basic definition 2 line का definition लिखना. Is that enough for your 3 mark answer? No, क्योंकि पहले मैंने equation लिखा. Question is saying how are the plants, autotrophic organisms satisfying their energy requirements. So इसमें you will have to put little bit stress on the product part. So what would be the answer? I first of all write down the equation. Then I will little bit write on the product, the raw materials, and then emphasize more on the product. Let us write one answer there. Write one answer there. So first thing you write the equation. Yeah, the equation. Entire photosynthesis के equation लिखो. And C6H12O6. क्या है? 6H2O and 6H2O 6. हाँ तो 6H2O क्यों बोला? 6H2, it's not 6H2O, it is 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 12 molecules of water, and then put the arrow. Arrow के ऊपर क्या लिखना है? Sunlight, नीचे chlorophyll, and then the other side what are you supposed to write? 1 molecule of glucose, 6 molecules of water, या तो ऑक्सीजन पहले लिखना है, 6 molecules of oxygen, and last 6 molecules of water. लिखो. Equation all of you will write. Write the equation correctly. Now you should know respiration, photosynthesis के equation immediately you should remember. The first statement will be saying that the energy requirement is fulfilled by the process of photosynthesis. And then the equation. लिखो equation all of you write and remember again. Write down the equation all of you again. The first line is to write down the equation. Answer now. After the equation you write the process. The process is photosynthesis. Process is photosynthesis in which plants utilize carbon dioxide, water, carbon dioxide, water from the atmosphere. From the atmosphere. To convert them into organic food, that is glucose. Full stop. This organic food is utilized for the various metabolic processes, growth, division, etc. Next line now, the next part of the answer. The excess amount of food in the form of starch. The excess amount of food is stored in the form of starch. excess amount of food is stored in the form of starch. So according to the question, you have to frame, reframe your answers, concept and likhna hai. Come to the next question. There, at the back.
If reason arteries are thick.
Arteries are thick wall. If you have to write your answer in 2-3 sentences. Now let me just tell you, I'm just giving you a basic concept. CBSE always wants your answer to be little bit elaborate. So the same concept you should little bit elaborate karke hamesha likho. Your 2-mark answer should be at least about 5-6 sentences. Your 3-mark answers, and always not make it too long. Write in points. If it's a 3-mark answer, always write in 3 specific points and thoda bahut elaborate karke likho, but specify, but be very specific with the points that you write. Yes. Arteries are thick walled. What can be the 2 reasons why the arteries need to be thick walled?
One, because the pressure is increased when the blood.
Wait. Bolo. I'm giving you a chance. Speak up.
The pressure increases when the blood goes from the arteries. So in comparison,
Pressure arteries में क्यों है ज़्यादा? That is what you have to write.
It is going away from the
due to the contraction of the ventricle.
Contraction, it is need to be, the blood need oxygenated blood need to be transported towards all the parts of the body.
Right.
Ma'am, because it has high pressure. क्योंकि heart का जो contraction होता
तुम
है
किसको explain कर रहे हो? आपको ना मुझे.
The contraction of heart is so much that the pressure in the arteries is very high because the oxygenated blood from the heart goes to every part of the body.
Answer specific लिखने का कोशिश करो. हाँ, bit better can you tell me? And we had already discussed this a number of times. Why is the pressure? Why is the wall of an artery thick? The wall of an artery is thick because of the contraction of the left ventricle. That is very much to be mentioned, because the blood that flows into the artery is due to the contraction of the left ventricle, and the blood is rushing at a very high pressure. To resist that high pressure, because of the contraction of the heart, because of the contraction of the left ventricle, to resist the high pressure, the walls of the arteries are always thick walled. If the walls of the arteries would have been thin walled, the moment the blood rushes into the artery from the aorta, what would have happened? Chances are there that quite a number of arteries in our body would rupture, break, and blood start losing inside our body. That would have been so dangerous every time. But wo kabhi nahi ho raha. Even when we are running, jogging, or we are extremely tense and the heart is beating much faster, then also the pressure of the blood in the arteries can be resisted. It's not easily getting ruptured. Will you be able to write? Likho. In 3-4 lines, maximum in 4 lines, 5 lines, try to express this concept. What are you writing? Try writing on your own also. What are the terms that you have to include in your answer? You have to include. This is because the blood entering into the arteries are always at a high pressure due to the contraction of the left ventricle. ये concept answer में mention होना ही चाहिए. This is because the wall of the arteries are thick. That's the question. This is because blood flowing in the arteries are always at a very high pressure. Blood flowing into the arteries are always at a very high pressure. Blood flowing into the arteries are always at a very high pressure due to the contraction of the left ventricle. Due to the contraction of the left ventricle. यहाँ पे oxygenated, deoxygenated concept लिखना जरूरी नहीं है. क्या? Only to write about the contraction, which part of the heart contracting and where to where the blood is flowing. Next slide. The arteries carry blood at a very high pressure to all parts of the body. Arteries carry blood at a very high pressure to all parts of the body. Next question. Next question. Next question.
Arteries need to transfer a person when
हाँ उसका ब्रेन लॉक हो गया जैसे ब्रेक का हाँ
a person when gets injured, blood flows at the site of the injury stops very soon.
हाँ क्या लिखना है यहाँ पे वेट उसको सोचने दो
And the process of blood
clotting with the help of
plasma.
Platelets.
with the help of platelets. तुम लोग एक काम करो हाँ अगर पॉसिबल है तुम्हारे स्कूल में बात करके देखो प्रिंसिपल के साथ अगर फिफ्थ स्टैंडर्ड में वापस जा सकते हो मेजॉरिटी वही फिफ्थ स्टैंडर्ड के जैसे ही है हाँ बोलो कंप्लीट द आंसर फ्रेम योर आंसर एंड टेल मी व्हाट यू शुड राइट एट द साइट ऑफ इंजरी the oozing of the blood stops because of the process of blood clotting which is brought about by the platelets. The process of blood clotting which is brought about by the platelets. Frame your answer and write. Plasma यहाँ पे नहीं लिखोगे, it's irrelevant. Plasma irrelevant है यहाँ पे. You are supposed to write about the platelets, the role of the platelets. Next, फटाफट complete करो. 5 done. We are in which question now? 6 हाँ.
6 हो गया 7.
हाँ करेंगे. Not a problem. 10 complete करके I give you break. Number 6.
Differentiate.
6 नहीं आता है. 6 आता है.
Just
6 done. 7 हाँ 7.
holozoic and saprotrophic.
Saprotrophic या तो saprophytic हाँ.
So ma'am, holozoic this mode of nutrition, bits and pieces of food are consumed by the organs.
ये इतना important point नहीं है. इससे भी एक और important point यहाँ पे लिखना जरूरी है. What is it? शुभम. एकदम याद नहीं है तो फर्स्ट टॉपिक था होलोजोइक सैप्रोफाइटिक. नेक्स्ट
Complex organs are
डाइजेशन वो कॉन्सेप्ट लिखना बहुत जरूरी है. The last line I wrote it.
mainly vertebrates.
No, vertebrate invertebrate वो भी इतना important. Saprotrophic and holozoic में basic difference क्या था? In saprotrophic what did we study? Saprotrophic, saprophytic एक ही है ना? Dead animals नहीं लिखना तो ये scavengers हो जाएगा. Dead and decomposing, dead and decaying लिखना है. अगर खाली dead लिखोगे then वो scavengers हो जाएगा. Decomposing वो लिखना ही जरूरी है. So what is हाँ किसमें?
Holozoic and saprophytic.
Scavenger and saprophytic, saprotrophic. Scavengers is eagle is a scavenger. The eagle is just catching hold of the dead animal or the weak animal, catching hold of that animal. But now that I talk about the bacteria and the fungi, they are feeding on, or the fungi feeding on decomposing dead and decomposing organisms. Eagle is never feeding on the decomposing organism. So there's a difference. The moment you are writing feeding on the dead organism, that's not a concept of saprophyte. I didn't get it. हाँ. Or the weak organism. It will never feed on the decomposing organism. So what will we write? What is saprophytic? The process of feeding on dead and decomposing organic matter, plant and animal matter. तो holozoic क्या था? And now that you are talking about saprophytic, what type of organisms? What type of organisms are they carrying out the process of breakdown of the complex food to simple food inside their body?
No,
Outside. The fungi is already growing in an environment where the decomposition, the breakdown is happening and just absorbing it straight away from the body wall. But if it is holozoic, then what are you supposed to write? These are those organisms, the mode of nutrition is as such, where the complex substances are getting broken down to simpler forms inside the body. So, ये concept लिखना है. Because for holozoic, in this mode of nutrition, the complex food is broken down to simpler forms inside the body. Holozoic में हमेशा inside the body. And saprophytic में you are to write organisms absorb or feed on the simple soluble nutrients. Feed on simple soluble. They are not breaking it down, just feeding on the simple soluble nutrients of dead and decomposing organisms. Dead and decomposing organisms. Dead and decomposing organisms. Last फटाफट 5 मिनट पे कंप्लीट करेंगे and then I'll give you 10 minutes break. Next बोलो. Leaves of a healthy potted plant are coated with Vaseline. Now that they are coated with Vaseline, will this plant?
Transpiration won't take place and also photos.
Will this plant remain alive for long? That is the answer. Now, answer is no. Justify mentioning 2 points. What are the 2 points? Number 1, transpiration cannot take place. So, if transpiration is not taking place, the entire exchange, transport, minerals, water, nothing happens. So, the first point you have to write, the process of transpiration cannot take place. And number 2, respiration यहाँ पे नहीं लिखेंगे, photosynthesis. Because diffusion of carbon dioxide cannot take place. The stomata are all blocked, Vaseline. So now that it is all Vaseline, what is happening? The carbon dioxide cannot get in. And if the carbon dioxide is not able to get in, the process of photosynthesis will be stopped. So you have to write your answer focusing on 2 points, transpiration and blockade of photosynthesis. Next one. Tell me now. Next question.
What is the difference in the mode of respiration between human and bacteria? Displayed in the light of the breakdown of food and energy. Anaerobic respiration.
Aerobic and anaerobic. So the process.
Absence of oxygen, lack of oxygen, and presence.
नहीं तीनों क्यों लिखना है?
अच्छा उसमें lactic acid.
वो ही लिखेंगे. Lactic acid नहीं लिखना है, तो temporary है, तो वो नहीं लिखना है. So what is the mode of respiration in human? Aerobic. उसके बाद aerobic का एक description लिखो 2-3 लाइन का. What is aerobic respiration? So first, the mode of respiration in human is aerobic respiration. Always try to present your answer very nicely, as you all dress up very nicely, and then come. Watch bhi pehna hai, perfume. Oh, nice. Come in. Nothing. Come in. So now, when we are talking about this, the mode of respiration in human is aerobic. Then what will you write? In this mode of respiration, glucose is broken down in the absence of oxygen, in the presence of oxygen, to give rise to
Energy,
carbon dioxide, water, and 38 molecules of ATP. ये लिखो. So this concept we will write. Then move on to the next line. Write about bacteria. In bacteria, the mode of respiration is anaerobic, in which glucose is broken. Don't jump to certain words. Arrange your answer. If you want complete full marks in the answer, you will have to arrange your answer systematically. In which glucose is broken down in the absence of oxygen to give rise to 2 molecules of. इसके पहले क्या लिखना है? इथेनॉल, 2 molecules, prominent products हमेशा पहले लिखना है. 2 molecules of ethanol, 2 molecules of carbon dioxide and 2 molecules of ATP.